Shalom and welcome to Masat. This year is entitled "The Reason Judaism is Still Around Today." Daf yomi Kuf Zayin V'Aleph has a term, low plug. The rabbi said low plug. We don't differentiate between case by case by case. We don't say, well, maybe the reason doesn't apply in this case, so therefore you can go ahead and do it. And many times there's a doraita halacha or a rabban halacha where the reason seems not to apply in this case. We have to be sure that's even true. But let's say yes, they gave a clear reason, and the reason for halacha that the rabbi set up is this, and it doesn't apply over here in this case. Doesn't matter. 99.9% of the time the rabbis say low plug. And we don't go ahead and differentiate case by case, because if we do, it's a slippery slope. And then it doesn't apply here, it doesn't apply here, and before we know it, it's over. And look, Solomon Schechter, Conservative Judaism, started off very halachic 100 years or so ago, but it doesn't necessarily apply in this case. In Minhag America, we don't have machitza. And then some even started saying max demand in the 50s, driving when we live far away from the shul, and what would God rather us do? And once you don't have a clear system, and you start saying, well, to turn a key in the motor is not such a big deal, and the reason it was prohibited was because of this, that kind of thing is just not halachic thinking. And therefore, it's tragic to think that Solomon Schechter's movement from 100 years ago, where it is now, where the connection to halacha is just such a great distance now. And it's tragic. But once you go away from the low plug concept that there's a system, you don't just start saying, well, the reason here, the reason there, and it doesn't apply in this case, it doesn't apply in that case. You don't separate between the reasons and the system itself. It's going to be disaster. And that goes back to Chazal, Kuf Zayin V'Aleph and Yevamoth. Shalom.